You called his name in vain. Is that together?
I'm trying.
No, is it on?
No, you're.
Community station 98.5 FM, WSAXLP Columbus, Ohio, a Go Chip Foundation station.
The following program is being brought to you by the underwriters of this program, and the views do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of this station.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Bishop.
You hear that music? We hear it. They may not
Yeah.
on live stream, but I hear the music. You know what that means.
Hey, trying to move and groove.
Talk Therapy Live. Somebody said,
TTL.
where's all the way live?
All the way live.
All the way live.
Good morning. It's so good to be here today, and it's such a beautiful day today.
It is a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day today.
Yes, it is.
Are we going walking today, or what are we doing? There's so much sunshine and stuff. I mean, what?
It is. I love to walk. Yes.
He told me that when we were dating that he loved to walk, y'all.
I do. I don't like to walk as long as you like to walk. You know, but I do. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now you got to have on the right shoes and stuff.
Lord have mercy.
You know,
excuses, y'all.
Hey, we don't start the show off like that. It's Talk Therapy Live,
TTL,
y'all.
where it's all the way live because you never know what you're going to get.
Getting started already, huh?
Yes. Well, you are listening to a Go Chip Foundation station.
At
98.5 FM and on Facebook and YouTube at TTL, y'all.
Yeah, you hear the excitement that's in the air, all of that. We're grateful to be here. We've been blessed this month by A1 Transportation.
A1.
So this is brought to you by A1 Transportation. They specialize in special needs transportation.
And medical transportation.
As well.
Serving Columbus for over 10 years.
10 years. That's been a minute, huh?
Yes, that's very, very good. Talking about a good, strong foundation.
Yeah.
So their number is 614-929-5687, or you can reach them at 614-592-1205.
Yes.
And I am your host, Kimberly B.,
the
owner of Healthy Emotes Counseling Services, 614-669-5115. And I'm here with
Bishop Marvin C.
Honorable.
That's me, Bishop Marvin C.
Yeah.
The Assembly of Faith Church, 1571 South Parsons Avenue on the south side of Columbus.
Slow down.
You know.
Yes.
I want you to hurry up and get there.
Hurry up and get there.
Yeah.
But you got to slow down so they can get the correct information.
Oh, that's how you going to do me.
Slow down.
You listen well.
Yeah.
You listen, girl, I'm proud of you.
Well.
All right,
Angela Wade is here. Hello to you. Hello. As you all know, we always have some hot topics, but I'm just so elated. There's just something about spring. And it's so relative to what we're actually going through, going between winter and then spring. What are your thoughts about the spring season?
I love it just like you do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's getting rid of the those dead things, and you have the anticipation of new things and flowers and walks in the park and all that kind of good stuff. You know what I mean? So
it's like newness
for sure.
Stepping into something new, something fresh.
Yes.
Walking away from, like you said, those dead things, those barren things.
Mm-hmm.
Winter is it's so harsh on you.
It's harsh, but it's a beautiful season as well.
I know you like it.
I do. I'm trying to tell you. Crime is down. More babies are made during that time.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Because you're close.
Yes. Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
But yes, I definitely, I can appreciate the winter months. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I love spring because spring is like springing forward.
For sure. I mean, it has that spiritual component too. Those times and seasons when you're waiting and it seems to be unproductive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you're doing everything that you can to wait right. you know,
Yes.
until springtime
Yes.
comes. Sometimes you can be in spring but still have winter results. You got to wait it out.
Elaborate
You got to
a little
wait it
bit
out.
on
I can't
that.
say it no better than that.
Say it one more
But
time.
you have to wait it out. You
I-
can be in spring but still have winter results. You just have to be patient. You have to wait. You have to endure.
It's like the residue of winter.
Hey, it hangs
And
around.
although you're going through in
It
your
hangs
personal
It
seasons,
hangs around.
although you're moving forward, there's still some things
Yeah.
that are still a part that needs to fall
Yeah.
off also.
For sure, yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what you said. You're right. Yeah, that's the correct interpretation. But it's true. I mean, that's so much like life. You know, we're anticipating, you know, springtime flowers, the change in weather, you know, the change in the dress attire.
Yes.
And so it is with life, period. You go through that time and space and season of waiting with expectation that as the calendar days move forward, springtime is just around the corner. But then it'll hit spring and it'll still be winter. It's still cold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though you're in spring.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a lot like life. You know, we learn and how to endure, we learn how to wait, but we know that spring is coming.
We know that our change is coming.
It's coming.
You gotta hold on tight.
I was born by the river.
In what?
In a little tent. Yes. Change is coming.
Change is coming. Gotta hold on.
Gotta hold on.
Well, Alice is here and Nadine is here.
Hey.
And Boundless Shade Creative Solutions is here. Good morning to you all. So today we're talking about springing forward, letting go of the emotional weight that weighs you down.
Wow. You said emotional weight.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, say that right now.
Wow.
In the Baptist church, you got to do that right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's close.
Is that it?
Wow. You say wow.
What did I say? Well.
Yeah, no, don't do that. You down the street. Don't do that. You down with the coffee and tea people. Don't do that.
There's nothing wrong with the coffee and tea people. I love coffee and tea.
Yeah.
Letting go of the emotional weight that weighs you down so that you can spring forward. So today we just want to talk about some of those things that are weighty, some of those things that you have not let go of. And what we find out is if we don't let go, we try to move forward. Every step we take moving forward, it seems like we keep getting pushed back because we haven't learned how to let go. So one of the things that is too much weight, right? And that can be in the form of unforgiveness, guilt, and shame. How weighty is that?
All of that. It gets no more weightier than that.
Oh my goodness.
Because you can't progress. You can't move forward. You know, your process, you know, hinders your progress. You know, it's too slow of a thing for you to come out of. So you got to make a decision.
But unforgiveness is so heavy.
Yeah.
It is so heavy. Every time you turn to it, let me tell you, unforgiveness is like walking around with a ball and chain around your ankle.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, how in the world are you going to spring forward walking around with a ball and a chain around your ankle?
Yeah, we are people who learn how to make adjustments.
Yeah. You're dragging that thing. And you just feel like it's a part of you.
Yeah, it's just a cool walk now.
Yeah.
We know how to make adjustments.
Oh,
you understand?
My, do you realize how free you can be?
Exactly.
How much faster that you can move without dragging around that ball. And the thing about carrying around the ball and the chain is that ball has your offender's name on it. So essentially, you're carrying them around with you everywhere you go. You don't like them, you resent them, you hate them, you can't, but you're carrying them with you everywhere you go.
Yes.
So the key to unlock the ball and chain is forgiveness. Set yourself free. And I'm here to tell you that forgiveness is not necessarily for the other person. Now, they're going to be a benefactor, right? But you know that your reason, you got to help yourself. You have to love yourself enough to be able to forgive. And that word forgive means to forego, to release, like the intense emotions that's associated with your experience, that hatred, that deep rooted anger. You make a conscious decision to be able to let that go to help you.
Right.
Because unforgiveness leads to disease, to cancer, gallbladder issues, cardiovascular disease.
Yeah.
You're doing all this
all
to
of that.
yourself now.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about springing forward, honey, you have to be able to forgive.
Yeah, forgive. So it's about that, as scripture says, laying aside every weight and every sin. So if you're going to lay it aside, the way you're talking is, that requires that you make a deliberate decision to change. You have to make up in your mind to make a deliberate decision to change.
That's right.
So
yes.
the weight are those things that hinders you. So there's a lot you just went through a whole gamut of things of from someone being the ball and chain of your life, the emotional things, it could be your weight, you're uncomfortable with yourself, you know what I mean? There are so many things about you that can become a hindrance.
Yes.
Keeping you from progressing and moving forward and experiencing real change. So you have to make a deliberate decision that, man, if I really want what I can see, I'm gonna have to change. Something has to give. I'm gonna have to lay aside every weight.
So you have to
I have to get rid of
a conscious decision.
Most definitely.
And then put the work in.
Most definitely.
Because we talked about unforgiveness, which is really weighty.
Yeah.
But you know how many people walk around and are bound with guilt and shame because of things. I think you mentioned it Sunday or a Bible study. We always talk about things that are done to us, but sometimes we do things to other people.
That we in denial about. I ain't do that to you. No, you did.
Yeah.
And you said it that way. For sure.
As far as in my counseling experience, what I often hear is a lot of guilt and shame centered around raising children.
Okay.
Like things that they could have, should have, would have done differently.
Man, we all have that. Oh my goodness. Sure. That's called unnecessary baggage.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The time is gone, they grown, and you
still have a lot of guilt.
And be better to the grandchildren.
But especially now, this is a huge one that we really have to process through, because sometimes when mothers are carrying their children, that we don't always make healthy decisions and choices.
Gotcha.
Like, some may smoke or some may drink, some may do drugs or whatever. And then, their child can have like birth defects.
Most definitely.
And you have to see that like every day. So it's hard to let go of the guilt and the shame connected to that.
Wow. For sure. But so many people live like that. And yes, it's a weight. It's a hindrance. It's baggage. It's excess, and so therefore, in order for you to get to that other place, it's a deliberate change of mind.
Yes.
A deliberate change of mind. If you can change your mind, you can change your life.
That's right.
You can do that. So you may need to go and see somebody like yourself.
That's right.
Somebody that can kind of help you and redirect.
That's right.
Your emotions, your feelings over things that you can't change now.
You cannot change now, because if you're walking around in guilt and shame, then you're admitting that you have done something wrong. So does every human being who's on this planet has done something wrong. And we're imperfect beings. So my question is, how long are you going to serve that sentence of guilt? How long? And what is that benefiting? It's not helping to change the problem.
It's a hindrance.
It is.
So lay it aside and move forward. Lay it aside and move forward.
Absolutely. And you just have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, yes, I have done something. But I forgive you. We have to forgive ourselves because the principles of forgiveness is in operation, whether if it's against somebody else or even if it's against yourself. You know what I
Got
mean?
you.
So I don't want to hinder my own
Yeah.
prayers by
Mhm.
not forgiving Kimberly.
Yeah,
I
sure.
deserve forgiveness
Yeah.
too.
So guess what? You may not believe this, but as a pastor, right?
Uh-huh.
I deal a lot with people that say, yes, my sins are forgiven. The Lord forgives me and, all this. But the hardest thing is for them to forgive.
Themselves.
That's hard.
It is hard. It is
Yes,
hard.
my sins are forgiven, but I can't forgive me.
Yeah.
You know?
You have to work through that because now you really have irrational thinking.
Yeah.
Like, why are we so
Yeah.
ready to forgive other
Yeah.
people for whatever?
Yeah, and not yourself.
And not yourself.
And so the weight of it all is a burden because it's unnecessary baggage that you're carrying.
Yeah.
Right. So it becomes a burden to you that you have to lay aside. You spend 10 years of this dragging this around, and everything about your life is still the same as it was 10 years ago because of this one action or this situation.
Yeah. And
lay it aside.
And I guarantee you that
forgive yourself.
Some of the physical ailments that you have is due to the emotional pain that you've been carrying around.
Got you. Yeah.
There's over like 80% of people who have go to doctor's visits. Their issues are rooted in emotional pain.
Yeah, so they're getting treated for the wrong thing.
Yeah. Now they're gonna treat you for the symptoms.
Oh, for sure.
But the root issue go all the way back.
Yeah.
So we have to learn how to forgive ourselves.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Treated for the symptoms only.
Oh yeah.
But you never get to the root cause. So you got to keep going back.
And it's designed that way.
Until you take care
of
the root cause. Until you take care of the root cause.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's rough.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's rough. Y'all feel free to call in on this conversation. What's the number?
Yeah, you can call in 614-824-2139, or you can call in 614-824-2336.
That's right.
2336. I used to be both. I used to be 23. It's going to help me remember.
Oh.
And I used to be 36.
I like the association.
When you taught me that.
Yeah.
You taught me that.
Hey. You listen.
I remember I was 23. Don't play with me. And 36.
All right.
My mom would say, young no more.
Young no more.
Young no more.
It depends on who you compare yourself to.
Yes.
But yes, it is so important that you release yourself. You cannot move forward.
Yeah.
All right. So
that's
Angie
good.
says, yes, I had to learn to forgive myself. It made me kind of depressed, and it will make you depressed.
The decisions that we make when we're so much younger versus now. If you're still making those same decisions, and I mean, you haven't learned at all.
You haven't grown at all.
At all. And you have children
Do
too.
you know how many people are stuck? You're like, seriously, it's been 10 years and you're the same person.
Yeah, for sure.
Something's wrong with that.
For sure.
And you know what I mean? I mean, you're stagnant.
Right.
So I won't get into that because my mind is going.
Right.
We need to grow, change, and evolve, you guys. So Maran says, what's an action we can take to support emotional well-being? Just one of the actions that we can take is what we have discussed so far. Let it go. Forgive, forgo, release. All right. Because all of that, like Angie said, she had to learn it because it was making her depressed.
Yeah.
So depression is also one of those things. This is like the second point that will prevent you from springing forward. The word depressed means pressed down.
For sure.
How can you spring up if you're being pressed down?
Right. Because of the weight that's on top of you.
Yes.
So you have to take action to push it off, thrust it off, cast it off, as scripture was use. prayer is a great way,
Mm-hmm.
because you definitely want to talk to God. That's how you support your emotional well-being, is by having conversations with the Father.
Mm-hmm.
Very important that you do that. If you're a believer, that's going to get you through.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So you have to talk. In order to talk to God about it, then it has to. You have to think about it.
Mhm.
This is not something that you want to suppress. You have to take
Right.
every care, every burden to the
Mhm.
Lord and cast them at His feet. But what
Right.
happens is that we try to be in denial.
Mhm.
We want to suppress it. We don't want to
Yeah.
look at it, and we just take it and stuff it into the basement of our soul
Mm-hmm.
behind all these boxes of fear,
Yeah.
guilt, shame, resentment. We want to hide behind
Yeah.
all these boxes. We
Mhm.
feel like no one can see it, but you're
Yeah.
in turmoil.
Have the conversation with the Father. Have the conversations with others.
Yes, that's
Sometimes
right.
that's very helpful. That
Yes.
when you talk to others about decisions that you made yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
when you talk to others about the thing that you hate, that you did when you were 20.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you were 20.
And don't know anything.
You were 20
don't
years
know
old,
anything. You thought you did at
with
20.
2 children.
Lord.
The only thing at 20 you knew
Had to grow
was
up
that
quick.
you knew what you liked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You understand?
Right. Yes,
Yeah,
I do.
you knew that.
Right. Yes.
But
But it's good to have someone to confide in.
most
And
definitely.
that is a problem nowadays because there's so much distrust out there because you confide in someone and then, you find out that
Yeah.
they've told your business. So
Yeah.
now you have this thought process that I can't trust anyone. I
Yeah.
told my best friend.
Yeah.
And now I'm hearing it from somebody else. So
For
I'm
sure.
not telling anybody anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But suppression leads to depression.
So you do need that. And it's so crazy because our families are so disoriented, right? So it used to be a time where you could go to grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
grandfather, and have these conversations. Now, grandchildren want nothing to do with grandparents
Mm-hmm.
to be able to have
They feel like they don't know anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, or they're just so disrespectful, period.
Mm-hmm.
To whereas it's hard to have a conversation with your grandchildren.
Yeah.
Because they try to treat you
They,
like somebody.
they know more than you do.
Yeah, it's rough.
They have knowledge, but they don't have wisdom.
Listen,
they don't know how to function and operate in that knowledge.
Exactly.
So if you sit down and talk to someone who's been there, done
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
got trophies, T-shirts, you may learn a thing or two.
For
You
sure,
may learn
yeah.
how to navigate your life now.
Yeah. Yeah. I almost said something else, but go ahead.
No, Jill says, yes, so much distress makes it hard to talk to anyone. And
Yeah.
I just will recommend that if you're someone who don't have anyone to talk to, Bishop mentioned talking to the Father because he's always there. You really have to I always say that it's better out than it is in.
Yeah.
So getting it out, talking to the Father, and also journaling, because when you journal, you're taking your thoughts, you're taking your emotions, you're writing it down on paper, you're getting it out of your system.
Right.
So some people say, I don't want to journal because someone may find it. Well, tear it up afterwards.
But
then
my thing is this: you'll always have to talk to someone. You're always going to have to trust someone. Period. You're always going to have to go on a limb.
Yeah.
And in some cases, hey, so what if what was said is leaked or is out there? Nothing's really hidden today. I know you want to trust somebody and tell them your most, intimate details about your life, and they may tell someone else, but the goal is for you to be free. You know what I mean? And prayerfully, that kind of adds fuel to the fire to overcome whatever. I mean,
you want to be free, so your desire to change must be greater than your desire to remain the same.
Yeah. But
so you do have to step out and do something different. And this is why we have therapists.
Most
you know
definitely.
that it is a confidential setting.
But guess what? You can have some of the most honest conversations to people that you don't know.
Yeah. Well, that is true. That
you understand?
Is true. Yeah.
Y'all ain't in the same circle.
That's right.
Y'all at the gas station pumping gas, and the conversation is had.
I mean, this is why
now, if they talk about you ain't going.
That they look at bartenders like pastors and counselors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I can be safe telling but you're still cathartic. You're getting it off of you.
Yeah, for sure.
you know.
Because that's, I think, in that moment, that's what you want to do. You just want to get it off of you, not necessarily for there to be a remedy in that moment, but just that you want to be heard
Yes.
in that moment.
Yes. Yes.
You know, you want to be heard in that moment. Yeah.
Comment says journaling is a learned process. I find it hard to commit to that process. And I definitely understand that. And that's why you need to get Kimberly's journal, Life Changer, because it leads you through how to journal, and it brings you out after you write down how you feel. Right. So at the end of it, it says, what do I need to do to make myself feel better? And there's a whole list of things that we can do. So it just takes you on a journey on how to journal, but the end result of it is that you feel lighter now.
Yeah. I guess instead of just sitting down and writing your thoughts down and all of that, and you give a way to make it easier for you to get what's there on paper.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So
because I recognize that, because I hear that often. That it's hard to journal.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how can I help them to look at it in a different way and to get the benefits of journaling?
Life Changes Journal.
Yes.
So we can get that from you, right?
Yes. That they're on Amazon.
All right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So again, we talked about things that are holding us back, things that are preventing us from moving forward. We talked about unforgiveness.
Yeah.
We talked about, the guilt and the shame, and also, depression. And it's just amazing how some people are afraid to change. Some people have been depressed for so long, they feel like it's just who I am. But that's not who you were designed to be.
Right. Yeah. They feel like that this is my plot in life. And it could be something that is a generational thing. You carry the same thing as your mom did, and your mom carried the same thing her mother did. But at some place, at some point in time, someone has to be bold enough to say, hey, I need to put a stop to this.
That's right. Yes.
Especially if you see it working in your own children or something like that.
Yeah. So somebody has to be the curse breaker.
For sure.
And it might as well be you. Why not you be the curse breaker? I mean, because the truth be told, depression does run. It's a biological component. There's a lot of reasons why we can be depressed, but it does run through the bloodline. That's why when you come to therapy, we want to know about your family. We want to know about your parents. Have they suffered? Because there's a lot of things that are transferred over in the blood.
Got you.
But sure. I know someone who can give you a spiritual blood transfusion,
So
and that don't have to be your story.
When you go to the doctor and they want to know your family's history, is there a history of high blood pressure? Is there a history of hypertension? So we have, there's history that's connected to us.
That's right. That's
you understand?
Right. Yes.
That if we're not careful.
That's what our DNA is.
Gotcha.
Our DNA is an informational system.
Okay.
That is brought down from generation. It's a lot of information within the DNA that tell us like who we are and who we're supposed to be. But we have the power to change our DNA. Wow. And this is why I love meditating. You know what I mean? There's so many things that eating differently, we can change our DNA like within 30 days of eating proper food. There's just so much we can do to change the trajectory.
There's so much that we don't know about ourselves. And I'm learning this, or how food contributes to our mood and our actions. And the diets that we have been raised on haven't been conducive to our best well-being.
That's right.
You know what I mean? We're knowing that now.
Yes.
And we're trying to correct and fix some things now. But food has a very high quality of why it is you think the way you think, or you
absolutely.
There's a lot that we have to change about
so
ourselves.
The saying is you are what you eat. And then another saying is you are what your body can do with what you eat.
Wow.
So if you're eating a lot of sugar, and you're eating a lot of carbs, what do you think your body is going to do with
Yeah.
that?
Wow.
You're making your own self sick. But as I quoted before, your desire to change has to be stronger
Yeah.
than your desire to
Yeah.
remain the same. It's so comfortable
Yeah.
remaining the same.
A
You mean to tell
deliberate
me
decision.
I can't eat
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, but it's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
And it's like
Yeah.
eating
Yeah.
healthy is like bland.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
we don't
for sure.
crave it. But
Yeah.
now that there's
Yeah.
ways that we can season our food. You got all these spices.
But we haven't. That's so crazy. You know, we just haven't known. Um, you know what? Now we're a little more educated now over what our diet should be, and you're so trusting down through the year. And now we're trusting because we hear some new information. You understand? Well, we trusted you and said that 3 meals a day was the best thing for you. We come to find out it was the reason why the 3 meal a day came up in the beginning.
Yes,
You know, so
sabotage.
it's just
Yes.
it's just life.
Yes,
You know?
I love that.
And we learn on the way,
The
and then you
one
find out
lady,
what works for you.
the old lady on YouTube, she was like, "Stop eating.
Yeah.
Stop eating.
Yeah.
We don't need to eat all that
All
food."
day, because they didn't eat like that back in the day. They were healthier, they lived longer, and of course they were more active.
Yes. Are these phone lines working? What's the number again? Because
the number is 614-824-2139. Y'all ain't called in today yet. 614-824-2336. So I need for y'all to call in today. Also, we thank you for this being sponsored by A1 Transportation.
Yes.
A1 Transportation.
A1.
Been around for 10 years.
Yes, Sam Shepard.
Yes.
And they specialize in special needs and medical
Oh, you going
transportation.
in. You going in. You too much. Special need, you going in.
Well, I'm excited
They don't
about
do that
A1.
on the news. What?
Hey, I love A1 Transportation.
There you go.
Yes. And what
But
they,
you need,
what
go
they
ahead and do the whole
bring-
body language.
and what they bring to our community. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And also this month is Autism Awareness Month also.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, God bless you, you know, and
Thank you.
definitely get the help that you need.
Yeah.
You know, I have several clients and they do have children, you know, who are autistic. You know, and that's a lot on them, you know, so get the help that you need.
Yeah,
Come into counseling, have your support system, you know, but again, we thank God for A1 Transportation.
You can reach them by calling 614-929-5687 or 614-592-1205. So it's not an O, but a zero?
It's a zero.
Yeah,
It's a number.
I got you.
It's a number. All right, so we talked about several things. And I want you all to put in the chat also, what are some things that you have found that has stopped you from moving forward? We're in the spring season and we want to spring forward. What are some things that you have found that prevents you?
That's stopping you from moving forward. Now, everyone's going through in their mind like, oh my God, I have so many things, you know, trying to pick out one, you know, but it is life. And we learn as we live how to let go of those things that, you know, that are burden to us. The burden puts up a boundary, you know, it all around us, you know, and so we're not able to press forward, come out of that because we're so heavy laden, burden.
Yes. So Alice says, how would someone like myself who suffers from depression and is on medication for it learn to lay aside the weight when every day is a struggle? I love that question. There's so that let me tell you this, that this is not an isolated case and that you are not alone. And as I tell people, and you can chime in, you know, afterwards, but as I tell people although that depression is a season of like darkness and heaviness, that somewhere in the midst of there is a silver lining. So we have to look for the silver lining in the midst of that situation. And in other words, what things can I hold on to? What things can I focus on to bring about gratefulness, because
Mhm.
whatever you focus on, you're going to get more and more of. So you may be depressed, you may have a chronic pain in your body, but if I can refocus my attention on something else, it's going to help me to get through in a better way.
Yeah. I would say also, whatever you're doing now, keep doing it. Keep doing it. We can always add to what we are already doing, or what we've already put in motion, right? We can always add, as you said, journaling, prayer time, all of these things. These are, as Matthew says, give us this day our daily bread.
Mm-hmm.
And so for you to have this and you're taking medication, forward, it's about your daily bread.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yes.
you only have one day at a time, so you deal with it one day at a time. Some days are better than other days, but it looks as if your faith is helping you to fight through.
Yeah, because she mentioned the word struggle.
Yeah,
And it's good that you're in a struggle
yeah, yeah,
because you have not allowed it
yeah.
to consume you, and you
Hmm.
haven't given over
Yeah,
to it, whatever that
yeah.
it is that's called. I don't know if it's a biological, I don't know
Hmm.
if it's situational or environmental, the reason why you are depressed, but whatever that it is, you're in a struggle. That means that you have the power
Hmm.
to fight back.
Yeah,
And it sounds like that's what you're doing. So never
yeah,
lose that, because you can always go back to that rock
yeah,
who is higher than you.
yeah,
When you feel yourself getting
yeah.
weak, when you feel like I can't fight
I
anymore.
mean, that means you fight harder.
Yeah.
That
Hmm.
means you fight harder. If it's a everyday struggle, that means you in the fight. You live to fight another day.
Yeah. And you fight
You live to fight.
from
Yeah,
your place of
most
victory.
definitely. Yeah.
But
Hmm.
I want to say to continue, taking your medication. I
Yeah.
know a lot of believers,
Hmm.
and not just believers, a lot of people these days do not want
Hmm.
to take medication. I just want to say whatever works for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone is, we are all bio individuals,
Hmm.
and we all are able to make choices for our lives. So whatever works for you, whatever is
Yeah.
going to cause you to work
Yeah.
and operate at
Yeah.
optimal performance,
Hmm.
then that's what you need to do. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Oh, I got off of that stuff. You don't need that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
their story.
Yeah.
It's not your
Yeah.
story.
But share your story. Talk to people. And this is with anything. I'm telling you, you can find the best advice from people that you don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Conversations come up for a reason when you talk to someone.
Yes.
That's why it's good to be nice and to say hello to people and all of that,
Yeah.
and take time. You feel like, I don't have time to stop and talk.
Right.
They may have your answer.
That's our dad used to say. You don't know who you talking to.
You don't, but they may have your answer right there.
And you don't know how God is going to use someone in that particular situation.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like the what was it? A guy, he was homeless and intoxicated, but God used him to minister to our son.
Oh yeah, back
Yeah.
with that storefront
Yes.
on Freebies.
Absolutely. So we
For
just
sure.
don't know. So we have to show
Yeah.
ourselves friendly. We don't know who God is going to use,
At all.
in that moment.
At all.
But I
Yeah.
do encourage you
Keep
to
fighting, stay in the
keep
fight.
fighting.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
God definitely has you. But again, be intentional
Mhm.
about looking for that silver lining.
Yeah.
What is, because you mentioned it's a struggle every day. So every
Yeah.
day I may
Yeah.
look for 3 things that I'm grateful for and
Yeah.
focus on that.
Hey, give us this day our daily. Lord, what's the daily bread for the day? Because I need it. I need it.
Mhm. Yes. Jill says, I find that people who have not dealt with this issue really don't understand what individuals are going through.
Yeah.
Of course, there is a book knowledge, but doesn't work for many people.
Yeah.
Of course, God is the one to talk with and wait on,
Mhm.
but still.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
with everything. People,
Yeah.
and a lot of times people will demonize what they don't understand.
Yeah. Or they understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times we don't like to talk about it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or want anybody to know that we suffer with the same thing.
Right. They don't want to be vulnerable.
We have more in common with each other than we realize.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, we're trying to
And-
hold it and act as if we don't, but you do.
We have to have open discussions because we all
must.
suffer with the same things
Exactly.
in life. So we have
Exactly.
to be able to be vulnerable and
Exactly.
transparent to be
For
able to
sure.
help each other.
For sure.
We have so much
Yeah.
pride and our ego gets in
Mhm.
the way. We want to appear like, oh, we
Yeah.
got it all together,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the truth of the matter is you're going through to be able to help somebody else.
For sure. Amen.
Seriously.
Amen.
You know, so book knowledge is good, but once you
Yeah.
have the experience, can nobody
Yeah.
tell you no different?
At all.
But why
the
do you
truth.
think, Bishop, people are afraid to change? Because we're giving them reasons and
Yeah.
solutions, but some
We're
people are
so
afraid to
familiar.
change.
We're so familiar with our comfortable surrounding. We're so familiar with the norm of life where we can't look at it as being any other way but just this. And that's it. So you're comfortable there. You don't like it, but you're comfortable. Now, for me to be uncomfortable means I'm going to have to leave where I am, this place of being comfortable.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And take a chance.
Yes.
And change. So a lot of people, it's just about maybe just being too lazy to move, too lazy to change, too comfortable to bring change about in your life. After a certain time, if God blesses you to be 50 or 60 or 70, as long as you still have breath, that's another day that you can experience change.
Do you think
it's
that
never
some
too late?
people have a fear of what change will look like?
That too. But I'm looking at when you think about how much life that you have lived, go ahead and try something new.
Because what are you going to lose at this point?
I mean, what?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
You might as well go ahead and do it. And what people might say, well, hey, you 60 now.
It's just amazing because we talked about the ball and chain effect, but some people have a fear of what that looks
you
like.
You learn how to
let
do
go.
What's best for you. And rumors last a little bit. You know what I mean? Those that starting stuff, to give it like a breaking news story of your famous or favorite basketball player, football entertainer, whatever. It'll be breaking news, and it lasts for about a week.
Yeah, that's true.
You understand?
Yes.
Until there's some more breaking news about somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the rumors, they don't last.
But
we outlast the rumors.
As you said, do what's best for you.
You have to.
So you can't really worry or be concerned about other people because, you're the master architect. Yeah. You get to design and develop and construct your life.
To live.
Yes.
So much life to live. And you can't keep it in this small little area, this small little frame. No, there are more pieces to this puzzle.
That's right.
You understand?
Yes.
So it's not done. You're not done because there's more pieces.
Yes, it is. And fear is one of those things that will definitely hold you back from springing forward.
Yeah.
It'll hold you back because fear causes paralysis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want to move. You can't move. You are overwhelmed with fear, worry, and anxiety, and you're not going to move forward. Right. Fear causes avoidance. You have in your mind who you want to be. God has placed these desires in your heart. Yeah. But because you are overcome with fear, you begin to avoid that.
Yeah.
Every time something drops in your mind, you kind of procrastinate because you have a fear of moving forward.
Yeah. And so scripture says to cast down those imaginations, right? We have to be quick about it. There again, it's like the weight that we have to lay aside or cast off. So it is with the thoughts that come into our minds that are not, they're not profitable for us to move forward.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So we have to do something about them, put them out of our mind, or put them out of our thought processes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And be deliberate about it.
Because you first have a thought, then you have feelings, and then you have behaviors.
Yeah.
So if I have negative thoughts, I'm going to release the cortisol and the adrenaline. All of this is going to cause me not to move forward, right? So we really have to combat those, we call them ants, automatic negative thoughts. And we want to put the big can of Raid on them, which is more positive thoughts.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah. So we have to learn how to think about your thoughts.
Mhm.
Slow down enough. If you're feeling a certain way in your body, if you have anxiety and
Mhm.
depression
Yeah.
and all of that, you have to slow down enough to say, where is my head?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
going on in my head?
Hmm.
All right. So Marvon says studies show that most people will experience at least one period of significant emotional distress, even if it doesn't rise to clinical depression.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That we are human beings.
That is true.
You know what I mean? And we're going to have those experiences by way, if
Mhm.
they're self-imposed or
Mhm.
imposed by other
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
we're going to have
Yeah.
those experiences.
One of the things that I kind of struggle with is people who always say no one understands. And I feel like if you feel like no one understands, that means you haven't been vocal enough about your situation.
And that's good.
Because there's someone out there that understands.
Absolutely.
Your mouth is closed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And then we have
Too
to
much
be
of life, of the same things of life happen
right. Yeah.
to people.
And you can't use an absolute
Someone
word
understands.
that is saying no one
Yeah.
understand. That's an absolute word.
Most
You know,
definitely.
so you can't use
Yeah,
that word.
yeah,
You can
yeah.
say most people
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you have therapists and you
Yeah.
have pastors and
Yeah.
you got your bartender.
Right.
Somebody is going to
Mhm.
understand your story.
Yeah. So
That-
you just can't be like, well, I can't talk to them. They don't know. You don't know if they know. You don't know if they know.
What I say in counseling is I'm good,
Yeah.
but I'm not that good. I need you to open up and talk to me.
I'm not going to talk to them because they're not going to understand. Well, you're cheating yourself out of what could be your moment of victory.
Yes.
You know
absolutely.
what I mean? So you can't assume that someone doesn't know, that they haven't been through, and they already have, and you
Yes.
can't do that.
You have to learn how to communicate.
Yeah. Talk
You
about it.
got
We
it.
talk about everything else. We talk about everybody else's problems,
Right. Exactly.
but you don't talk about your own.
And that's how you're going to set yourself free. Right. Oh, what's the scripture that talks about
That's true.
Admit your faults one to another?
Yes, I mean, it is about having that conversation. I said it Wednesday, a Bible study, that we are all people with flaws.
Mm-hmm.
So we should be all right with talking to each other about our flaws.
We're all broken vessels. We're all cracked in different places.
Yeah, can I talk to you about mine? Now, if you had that conversation with me about yours, that's on you. But I need to get this off.
Right, exactly. Yes.
We're all people we're flawed individuals, and pretty much what we go through in life is the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's the results we're looking for.
Right, and we have to learn how to navigate those experiences. Actually, talk about the statistics, and the significant emotional distress.
Mm-hmm.
Those are one of the things that will keep us bound to and prohibit us from springing forward is emotional dysregulation, because no one likes to be around toxic people.
For sure.
And you don't even have to be toxic, but even if you don't know how to regulate, like the one sister, was talking about her depression and stuff. If you're always withdrawn and you're always isolated, you cannot spring forward. So we have to learn how to navigate what God has permitted us to have in this lifetime.
Yeah, deliberate about changing, deliberate about socializing and talking to. You have to be deliberate about these. Deliberate. I said deliberate. Deliberate about these things. Yes, just so that you can,
Yes.
some good stuff for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And I wake up every day and I say, Lord, I thank you for the abundance of grace that you provide for me to walk, because we all go through so many challenges.
That's true.
But whatever he permits us
That's
to
true.
have, he's going to also grant us that grace to match it.
Yeah.
It's not designed to overtake us.
Yeah.
Ask Paul.
Yeah, that's true.
So Correa says, from a biblical aspect, hearing testimony is great for helping depression or any doubt for a situation you're in, which is why God says it is necessary. If we can communicate our situations and how God eventually brought us through, it gives others hope and faith that he hears us and will come to the rescue. Yeah. We just have to keep the faith.
And that's perfectly said. That's why we have the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have the Word of God. These are real people that have gone through what we're going through.
Mm-hmm.
So you think about David, you think about Paul, you think about John, all these people who were great witnesses and great disciples of Christ. They had moments of depression. Look at the situation they found themselves in. So don't think that you're reading something that is, you know, they it didn't they went through
Mm-hmm. I just think we've done
depression.
a injustice early on,
Yeah,
not anymore
some
now
of
that
our
we're
greatest
talking about,
people have
mental
gone through.
health,
Yeah.
because we used to demonize mental health.
Hmm.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So because we used to demonize mental health, and it's like you had this bad spirit
Yeah.
if you had depression. Who wants to say that they have mental health
For sure.
issues?
Yeah, I mean, and we've learned, and now we just hear it all the time. I'm like, well, dang, has it always been around like this?
It's always
That's what I
been.
want to know. You know,
Right.
everybody got it. Is that what you're saying? Like everybody have cancer cells, everybody got mental illness, but everyone has some form of
Everybody
mental
does
illness,
not
right?
have mental illness.
Okay.
Everyone does not have mental illness. Everyone may have mental health issues.
Got you. Okay, that's different.
That is very different.
I got you. That's
You
different.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. And the saving grace is
Yeah.
learning how
Okay.
to deal with the
Issues.
mental health issues.
Yeah. Then
Because
illness.
whatever we don't address, we give permission to exist.
Right.
You know, so if I have anxiety and I don't do anything about it, it
Yeah.
can turn into an
Yeah,
illness.
but it's a issue in the beginning.
But if I start, it's an issue in the
Yeah.
beginning. But if I start doing my deep breathing,
Yeah.
if I start exercising, you know what I mean? If I start journaling, I'm helping myself so it does not turn into an illness.
Right.
You
That's
know,
good, for sure.
that's good talk, because we
For
don't
sure.
know what we don't know, but we our bodies were made to heal ourselves.
I believe if we stay in the Word, we'll find a connection of our lives to someone else's life in Scripture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of times we're looking for answers around us, and it's right there in front of us.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
God is always going to speak to you, whether it's through the Word, whether it's through the message on at worship service, or through someone you have a conversation with. It's just God all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because bringing things and giving you an opportunity to talk about it. Well, you've ignored me on this way with journaling, you know, or you ignored me this way with counseling.
Yeah.
And here you at the coffee shop talking to somebody you don't know.
Yeah.
And God has a way
Right.
for you to get that toxic stuff that's within you out.
Yes, He does.
Conversation
But
is
we
important.
can't look for him in our own way. Like I expect for him to show up this way.
Yeah, and yeah, that's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what is the one
That's true.
parable or whatever
That's
about?
true.
The guy was, I guess, get ready to drown or whatever, and he sent a boat, he sent a helicopter, and the guy was like, where is God? And he had this
I've heard something
conversation.
like that.
Yeah. I prayed and you didn't help me. It's like, I sent this, I sent that,
Yeah,
and you rejected all of them. So don't talk about what I ain't doing. You're not taking advantage of my resources.
The helicopter, the
right.
boat.
Yeah, because we have to get out of our finite way of thinking. Our ways are not God's way. But we have to pray that we open up our eyes so that we can see God. Because we don't want to miss him.
For sure.
That's
good.
Yeah. So
That's
so
good.
again, we're talking about several ways. I don't think anyone has listed a way of that prohibiting. And don't be shy, y'all.
Yeah.
What are some of the ways that that prohibits you from springing forward?
What are some things?
What are some things? Now I know for Kimberly, I need to help to give up sweets. I know that I cannot spring forward in a healthy way if I continue to eat the way that I eat. And I love sweets. My family, my parents love. I was brought up that way.
Yeah.
But my desire to change has to be stronger than my desire to remain the same.
I like that.
So I have to put some action in
Yeah.
with it. I can't just pray about it.
Well, I'll tell you what. The next time I see a sweet in your hand, I'm smacking it
Now,
out.
see, that's why people don't want to say
I'm gonna
stuff.
smack it out. I'm just having a
Isn't that why we don't want to
conversation
say
with you.
anything, huh?
I said, put that down. What you?
Oh,
You
no,
ain't supposed to be eating that.
you gonna smack it out my hand and pick it up and eat it.
Well, if it's on the ground longer,
You'll eat it off. You'll blow it off.
I don't know about blowing it off. That's terrible. You would say that about me. We don't want to waste nothing. That's how I grew up. You don't want to waste nothing.
Right,
You understand? You better
exactly.
get
Oh,
that.
Bernice did not play that. Yes, Angela said cupcakes and donuts. They're so good. They're so good. But I heard a
Lord have
YouTuber say
mercy.
sweets are not sweet because
Mm.
they are not sweet to us at all.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
will tear your
Yeah,
brain up, your
yeah.
body up, every system
Yeah.
that you have.
Yeah.
Sugar is an enemy
So
against
it's
it.
just occasionally,
Yes.
occasionally. So we want to enjoy life, but we don't want to enjoy it to the place that we risk our lives.
Exactly.
enjoy it.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, you like that, didn't you?
Yeah, that was good. I
Tell the
love
Lord
that.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Lauren says giving up sweets and self-sabotage by procrastinating the major things and sabotage by
Yeah.
procrastinating.
Yeah, because I'm gonna think about that. Do we want to give it up, or do we just want to not make it an everyday thing?
They have so
Because
many
you can't say
substitutes.
give it up because you're going to indulge at some point.
So like
And we just can't eat them every day.
you cannot. But now my friend, Miss Isa too, she's vegan. And
Mhm.
the choices that she make are so good. Like she
Yeah.
introduced me to the vegan cake, and it was. I think it's just
I remember that.
not doing without, but putting
Yeah,
something
it's
in
just
place.
like we
of-
learned this, we have to learn that.
Yes.
Yeah, and then like it.
Yeah. We got to find out what works for us so that we
My
can live
Lord,
in
but
a
let me
healthy
tell you
way.
that cake, boy, that's just the Angie made. My Lord, it
Yes,
was nice.
yes.
It was so good. It tastes like wedding cake.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, I need you to calm down.
You see me
I
get
need
excited.
I
I done
need
read
you to
up on
calm.
the seat.
Right, exactly.
Am I talking right?
Other than that, no.
That's the
Oh
truth.
my goodness. So today we have talked about those things that prevent us from springing forward
Yes.
as we are in the spring season. So, we talked about unforgiveness. We talked about guilt and shame.
Yeah.
We talked about depression,
Yes.
the fear
Mhm.
and afraid of changing. We talked about emotional dysregulation. You are the master architect of your life. Let's build something great, y'all.
Yeah. Lay it down and get up. Lay it down and get up.
Lay it down and get up.
Yeah, lay that weight aside.
Down.
Everything that's burning you down.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
I don't care if it's the dog. We better get out of here. If it's the husband,
Well,
if it's the
Well.
wife, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but just
if
lay
it's,
aside.
If it's the wife, go to counseling
Yeah.
first, y'all.
Yeah, because if it's a burden, we need to talk about this.
Whatever is important enough to bother you,
Yeah.
it's important enough to discuss.
We got to go, y'all. Though it's
Mhm.
been fun. It's been fun. It's been wonderful.
Yes.
A1 Transportation, 10 years of service. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
And again, their number 614-929-5687.
Yes.
I am your host, Kimberly B, owner of Healthy Emotes Counseling Services. And
Bishop Marvin C right here. Don't slow me down. I'm on the road. I'm on the road.
Well, this is Talk Therapy.
We're going to see y'all
Live,
next week.
where you get a good blend of therapy and the
Yeah.
word. See y'all next week, y'all.